The first example of art dates back to the time of the cavemen. These drawings were of important scenes in their life. Animals, hunts, food, and war were common in these primitive images. Their range of color was limited to reds, blacks, yellows, and blues, which were dyes made from organic materials that they were able to gather. Though their purpose is not known, some believe that they were for a religious purpose or for communicating with other people because they were not found in places with signs of ongoing habitation.
The Greeks focused more on making their art more natural and flowing, which sparked the realism movement. Their main subjects of their art were the human form. The human form was considered both secular and sacred, causing them to depict their gods as normal people.
Roman art originated from ancient Rome and territories of the Roman Empire. Much of Roman art is influenced greatly by Greek art, which is more advanced than Roman art. Roman art includes architecture, paintings, sculptures, mosaics, metalwork, gem engravings, ivory carvings, figurine glass, and miniature book illustrations. Like Greek art, much of the art was centered around the beauty and perfection of the human form and the natural world.
There are 64 traditional arts of Hinduism that are followed. They start with music and range to the application and adornment of jewelry. Religion and culture are inseparable with Hinduism, so symbols like the gods and their reincarnations, extra limbs, and the lotus flower reoccur in many forms of Hindu art.
Christian art was produced in an attempt to illustrate and portray the principles of Christianity in a tangible form. Most Christian groups have used art at some time, even though some have had a strong objection to the artwork. Most common subjects are images of Jesus and narratives of his life and other biblical stories.
Islamic art focuses on patterns and Arabic calligraphy instead of figures. Muslims fear that the depiction of the human form is idolatry and therefore is a sin against God, which is why they do not show humans or figures in much of their art.
Medieval art is a hybrid of the iconographic traditions of the Roman Empire and the barbarianistic styles of Northern Europe. The medium used to express this art form varied and include sculpture, illuminated manuscripts, stained glass, metalwork, mosaics, frescoes, textiles, enamel, and embroidery. Subjects ranged from peasants to nobles. Because medieval art covers over 1,000 years of art history, early Christian art, Byzantine art, and Gothic art generally fall under this category.
Renaissance art was a rebirth of classical styles from Greece and Rome. Renaissance art ranged from religious altarpieces to private works for entertainment purposes. It was more lifelike because artists experimented with the use of proportion and perspective. Renaissance subjects are included, but not limited to, everyday life, religious scenes, and their aristocracy.
Baroque style was started by the Roman Catholic Church in an attempt to communicate religious themes through art. It also was popular among aristocrats because of its dramatic style that impressed viewers and expressed power and control.
Rococo, also known as the Late Baroque, was an 18th century style which developed as artists from the earlier Baroque period gave up their structured symmetry and became more ornate and playful with their art. It was in great contrast to neoclassical art. Neoclassical art was a quite distinctive art form that drew upon ancient Greek and Roman art. While Rococo art was oftentimes seen as over-the-top and meaningless, neoclassical art was known for its order and simplicity.
reaction to the Enlightenment Industrial Revolution that emphasized strong emotions and focused on the natural and picturesque qualities of nature that were reflected in romantic art. It allowed the artists to escape the chains and restraints put on them by modern society. Expressionism's main point was to present the world solely from a subjective perspective, distorting it in radically for emotional effect in order to evoke moods or ideas. Artists sought to express meaning or emotional experience rather than physical reality. The expressionist emphasis on individual perspective has been characterized as a reaction to positivism or other artistic styles.
Cubism took an average object and broke it up into many pieces that were strategically placed to show the artist's point of view.
Surrealism was created as a reaction to Freud's theories of the unconscious human mind. It depicted dreamlike scenes that were impossible in reality. Many art movements can be classified as modern art. Some of the most popular art movements are minimalism, abstract expressionism, and pop art. These are styles that can be seen in our own art today.